Check this out. DJI Mini 5 Pro. It just showed up. Here it is. Here's the drone. DJI did not send this to me, and I was actually able to buy this here in the United States, which a lot of you know that there's actually a major issue going on where DJI products are not getting into the US because of customs. However, I was able to get a Mini 5 Pro in, and it actually shipped in like 2 days. So in this video, let's go test this out. There's a few things I want to try out, just kind of my first time flying it, see how this footage is, see how some of the features work that I'm personally interested in. And let's just have a conversation about getting drones in today's environment. All right, let's go outside and shoot. All right, so here's some of the first footage from this drone. I'm just flying around these peaks. It's kind of like an overcast day, a little bit of blue in the distance, but I'm gonna shoot this all with D-Log-M. One thing that's cool, these new controllers, this is like the more advanced controller. It does work with the Mini 5 Pro. This is like the bigger where the screen pops out. It's really cool. It's great having this that hangs out above, the thumbsticks, and it's just like, it feels like a more pro controller than when the screen's down below your hands. Little things, but it puts the screen right in front of you. It's also like super bright. But first thing I wanted to test with this drone was really to see how it does with tracking, because this drone is supposed to have some really good tracking built in. So just to start, I'm hiking up this trail. You see the staircase that I'm climbing up, and I just let the drone follow me. Now, the trees around here, you can see them. They're like, these kind of trees, these up here. A little bit worried about them hitting the kind of thinner branches, but it did a great job as I was going up the staircase. There was a couple times where it got hung up, but for the most part, if I kept it following me or maybe following in front of me, I had no problem. And then I got onto the trail, and then here's on the trail, and the same kind of thing. I'm walking through the trail, you got these kind of thin branches on either side, and it's doing a great job of dancing around. And I really wanted to start doing some spiraling around to see how it really impacts the drone as it's using the obstacle avoidance, the 360 obstacle avoidance as it goes around and tracks me. Now, while we're watching some of this, I'm sure you're wondering, well, how did I even get one of these drones? Well, this drone isn't available in the US. If you go to the US website, it doesn't even exist. It gives you like a 404 error code, which is pretty wild. But I actually found on eBay, there's a bunch of people reselling these drones, and they may or may not be a scam. I actually paid for 2 of them. The first one, the guy told me that he was having issues with shipping on eBay, and if I just want the drone quickly, just send him the money via PayPal and he'd ship it right over. So that was obviously a scam because he was trying to get me off of eBay and just have him send money. Whereas the second guy that I found, he had pictures of the box of the drone. It was, had his username on there. And I paid for it, and then 2 days later, I ordered this on Saturday. Today, it's now Monday. I ordered it, it showed up this morning, and here we go. We're getting footage with the Mini 5 Pro. Now, if some of you are wondering why these drones aren't available in the US, I did a whole video about this a little while ago, but it's a customs issue. They're trying to ban these drones as well, but right now there's not a drone ban in effect yet. However, they're using customs as a way to limit what DJI can bring into the country. So at the moment, all of these drones are getting held up at customs. And so that's why DJI is not even trying to sell them in the US. But what I'm finding is that there are people that are bringing them in themselves. With the Mavic 4 Pro launch, Adorama had a bunch right at launch. With the Mini 5 Pro, I didn't see B&H or Adorama have any available. However, I did find a bunch of people in the US that actually brought these drones in somehow and are selling them on eBay. And so if you're trying to get one of these drones, there is a potential that you could pick one up, or you could just go out of country. It's a little bit of a workaround, but I do know other creators that are doing this as well. They've ordered them on places like eBay, and they're getting the drones as well. So it's not completely out of the realm of possibility to get one of these drones in the US. You just have to kind of go through a different channel to get it. One of the other things that I really wanted to test with this drone is that 2x zoom that they just unlocked with a firmware update. So that 2x zoom is going to give you a much different look. Here's some of the footage. It has that longer lens feel. Now, the reason that I'm really interested on this drone is because my main drone that I use for pretty much everything right now is the Air 3S. The reason I use that, you have the wide lens, but you have that 70mm lens as well. And I use that so much when I'm out filming because it's so cool to have that 70mm, that long lens look where you can get a lot of parallax in your footage when you're out filming. So with the minis, you only get one sensor. Whereas on the Air 3S, you have 2 sensors. On the Mavic 4 Pro, you get 3 sensors. So with this drone, one of the things I really wanted to test is, immediately, how does this look? Because what we're doing when we're using this 2x zoom is that we're cropping in on the sensor. It is a bigger sensor. We now have a 1-inch sensor in the Mini 5 Pro, but you're still cropping in on the footage rather than punching into a new sensor and a new lens. So I'm getting a bunch of shots here. Here's a shot of me on top of the mountaintop. I'm doing an orbit around. I'm using the auto orbit feature that's built into these drones so I could get a lot of that parallax as it spins around me. Now keep in mind, I'm also shooting this all on just auto exposure. I'm really just kind of playing around with these auto features in D-Log-M to see what this drone actually handles when you're out flying in this kind of a setting. Now here's some footage of me like walking down the hill where it's tracking me down. I'm using the 2x zoom with the tracking turned on so I could see how this looks and how it follows me in this kind of a scenario. A lot of times when I'm out shooting, when I'm working with people or have a subject, like I want that 2x zoom, I want that longer lens look to be able to get these really dynamic shots that have so much movement in them with the background moving at a different speed than the foreground. And you just get a different look than you can get on, other drones that are out there. A lot of times drone footage is just wide, but I like to really use the longer lenses, and having them in these tiny little drones gives us a lot of potential to create some really interesting dynamic footage that you just can't get unless you have bigger drones. I mean, the cool thing is with these drones that are coming out, they're more and more, they're having these features that are built into it that give us these abilities to mimic what a bigger drone or like a helicopter used to do with these longer lenses. Now, a couple things when I've been testing it for the first time with this drone, I actually hit the fence. You see this wire fence along the side of where I'm filming? So the drone didn't pick that up and it hit it. When I brought the drone down and landed, it gave me a little warning that said, there was a crash, make sure you check your propellers. That was pretty cool. Another thing that's really interesting is when you're using this 2x zoom, you could actually zoom in and out while you're filming and it creates a kind of smooth transition. With the other drones, it does like a quick jump from, wide to close up, so you can't really do an in-camera transition. However, with this, it's because it's one sensor and it's just cropping in the footage. When you're recording and you hit the 2x, it zooms in slowly, and when you hit the 1x, it zooms out. So this could be a cool feature to kind of play around with, having that ability to kind of zoom in and out when you're out flying. Something, a little bit different that I'm not used to with the other drones that have the other lenses. So what do you guys think about the footage? This is just kind of like the first time out filming, some initial footage with this drone. Do you like what you're seeing? What questions do you have about the Mini 5 Pro? Because I'm definitely going to be doing some more videos around this drone now that I have one, and I'd love to hear from you. Please let me know down below in the comments. And if you're a creator, I really highly suggest you watch this video because it goes through kind of the state of the creator industry right now, and I just give my thoughts around what it means to be a creator right now here on YouTube. So I'll see you over there.